Here's your wrestling news for September 2nd, 2022. And we're kicking off today with Morrissey, who made his return to AEW this week and teased an alliance with Stokely Hathaway. Morrissey certainly looked impressive as he decimated all 4 members of the Wingmen, and we'll be seeing much more of him. Fightful has learned that Morrissey is scheduled to be on next week's AEW Dynamite, adding fuel to the speculation that he's signed an exclusive deal with Tony Khan. After being released from WWE in 2018, Morrissey had some difficult years, but eventually reinvented himself as part of Impact Wrestling. The report adds that when he left Impact, the company had been aware for some time that he wanted out, but were unsure if he'd be going to AEW or back to WWE. It should be noted that Morrissey is a native of Queens, New York, and his reappearance in AEW comes only weeks before the promotion is set to return to Queens for their second Grand Slam special. WWE were interested in Morrissey, aka Big Cass, after he made his AEW debut back in May, but the 7-footer is sticking with AEW for the long term. Over the past month, WWE has been bringing back released superstars, with Karrion Kross, Johnny Gargano, and Hit Row just some of the names to return. It's been reported that WWE is nowhere near finished bringing back stars released over the past year, and fans won't have to wait long for the next comeback. PW Insider is reporting that Braun Strowman's return to WWE is happening, and that he is slated to appear on next week's Raw in Kansas City. Strowman was released from WWE last year, which came as a shock to fans, given how well he had been pushed in the years prior to being cut. The Monster Among Men's last match in WWE was a World Championship match at WrestleMania Backlash 2021, but that didn't stop Vince McMahon from cutting him. With the ex-chairman now gone, Triple H is running a lot behind the scenes, and it's reported that the game reached out to Braun 3 weeks ago. A deal was struck between the two, but on the condition that Strowman received much better booking storyline-wise than the last time he was in WWE. For years, Strowman received stop-start pushes, with many believing that he should have won the Universal title years before he eventually did at WrestleMania 36. It's also noted that money was not a concern for Strowman, as his first run in WWE proved to be very lucrative for him, but his booking meant a lot. While Triple H has the final say on all creative plans as WWE's head of creative, the report adds that the King of Kings will personally oversee all of Braun's upcoming storylines to make sure things go right. In his time away from WWE, Strowman has been working for Control Your Narrative, who are about to lose arguably their biggest star, and we'll have to see how the former Universal Champion fits in with this new era of WWE. More from AEW now, as the company has a TV-14 rating, making their content more adult than WWE's PG-rated shows, but that doesn't mean the wrestlers can do whatever they want. Recently, it was reported that Warner Bros. Discovery had instructed AEW to tone down their language, and while no rule was officially put in place, that's something the company will be doing. PW Insider reports that AEW has sent an email to all their performers ahead of All Out, in which they discouraged the talent from using profanity on live television. During this week's Dynamite, Ace Steel let the F-word slip out on national TV without a censor, and in the email, AEW made it clear that they don't want to see incidents like this happen again. In the report, PW Insider described this as having a ripple effect, and Steel immediately, quote, took responsibility for the error. Steel reportedly agreed to a fine that he paid to AEW, who have planned for the money to be donated to charity. In the email sent yesterday, AEW pointed out how Steel handled the mistake and how it was an example of how to deal with errors and accept responsibility for them when they accidentally occur. This isn't the first time there's been an issue like this, as when MJF cut his scathing pipe bomb in June, it was not well received by several top executives from the network. At a time when WWE is pushing the envelope with their content and language, toning down their language may not be what AEW wants to do, but it looks like they don't have much of a choice in the matter. During last week's Dynamite, CM Punk and Jon Moxley met to unify the two AEW World Championships, though fans didn't predict how the match would go. Not only did Punk, the heavy favorite, lose his title to Moxley, but the Chicago-made wrestler was squashed in mere minutes by the now undisputed AEW World Champion. The decision to have the unification match on free TV and be so one-sided has split fans, and while speaking during AEW's All Out conference call, Khan explained the booking. As Sean Ross Sapp reports, Tony Khan believes that they built more interest and intrigue with the Punk vs. Moxley TV match. It created a week of people loudly wondering what was going on, and it was a ratings success for them. Despite being squashed in just 3 minutes last week, CM Punk is the favorite to win against Moxley and become AEW World Champion once again this Sunday, so we'll have to see if he can get the job done after last week's squash. Back to WWE, as Clash at the Castle is now just over a day away and has a stacked card for the fans in Cardiff. Roman Reigns will look to keep his incredible reign as undisputed WWE Universal Champion going, but the Tribal Chief will be going at it alone. Zero News reports that Jimmy and Jey Uso have not made the trip to the UK for Clash at the Castle, citing it as due to visa issues. It's no secret that both Usos have had run-ins with the law, and when WWE recently headed to Canada, it was reported that Jimmy Uso was banned from entering the Great White North because of his pending DUI case. It was also noted that Paul Heyman won't be appearing at Clash at the Castle, and that was seemingly confirmed with a post from the special counsel who said that Reigns will prove he is the greatest this weekend, all by himself. Zero News is also reporting that Karrion Kross and presumably Scarlett will not be appearing at Clash at the Castle, so tomorrow night's main event will truly be a one-on-one affair. Despite the Usos, Kross, Heyman, and Scarlett not being there, Clash at the Castle will be a huge event, the biggest event in the UK by the company since SummerSlam 1992. Tens of thousands of fans will fill Principality Stadium in Cardiff, Wales, and there will be an extra special guest sitting in the very front row. We exclusively reported first yesterday that boxing star Tyson Fury was scheduled to be at Clash at the Castle, and in a video uploaded to WWE's Twitter account, Fury himself confirmed the news. The two-time boxing world champion will be at ringside for the show, which makes sense as other reports have stated that he has planned to get involved at some point during the main event. Whether he's costing Drew McIntyre the Universal title match or confronting McIntyre post-title win, Fury is expected to get involved tomorrow night, and he'll have the best seat in the house at Principality Stadium. When Samoa Joe joined Ring of Honor and AEW earlier this year, it came mere months after his second release from WWE. Joe officially made his AEW debut on Dynamite, where he was successful in a qualifying match for the Owen Hart Foundation tournament, but the last time he competed on AEW television was at Double or Nothing pay-per-view in May of this year. According to a recent report from PW Insider, Joe has finished filming for the Twisted Metal series and is expected to make a return to AEW very soon. Some have reported that Tony Khan is looking to bring Joe back to TV as soon as possible to help add some much-needed star power to his roster, which has been set back by several injuries. Whether that return comes as soon as All Out, as some have predicted, that remains to be seen, but Joe is well on his way back to the squared circle. Last month, it was reported that WWE were considering bringing Solo Sikoa to the main roster after just 1 year with NXT 2.0. Despite not having any championships so far, Sikoa has impressed fans with his style and work rate, and we have an update on the situation. PW Insider's latest report says that not only has WWE confirmed plans to call up Sikoa, but it could happen as soon as this month. If the report is accurate, Sikoa will join the SmackDown brand, the same show that hosts his brothers the Usos and his cousin Roman Reigns. PW Insider did not confirm that Sikoa will be joining the Bloodline, but he is certainly a perfect fit for the powerful group. Sikoa has been absent from NXT 2.0 recently, as he's been out with a sprained PCL that WWE announced during the August 9th episode of the Paint Splattered brand. However, with a recovery window of 4 to 6 weeks, Sikoa should be at 100% at some point this month, meaning plans for a September call-up can still go ahead. This isn't the first time we've heard reports on WWE wanting to fast-track Solo Sikoa to the main roster, but his time on SmackDown may begin within a matter of weeks. As of late, WWE has been bringing back several names who were released by the company over the past year, but now one surprising name is making a comeback after over a decade away. PW Insider has learned that for all of next week, former WWE superstar Bull Buchanan will be working at the Performance Center, likely as a guest coach. Fans of the Attitude Era will remember Bull as the Big Boss Man's protege, who later became part of Right to Censor before becoming John Cena's enforcer in 2002 and working under the name B Squared. Bull's last appearance for WWE came back in 2011 as a guest on a special edition of This Is Your Life All About Cena, though that didn't exactly go well for John, with Bull claiming the 16-time world champion ruined his life. Having worked under various gimmicks over his years in wrestling, Bull certainly has a unique perspective on the wrestling world, and those in the Performance Center will have a chance to learn from the veteran next week. Ever since Vince McMahon retired, WWE has undergone several changes, not just to the roster, but also to the long-established rules from the former chairman. One golden rule McMahon had was to not mention wrestling, believing it was too old school, but that rule is truly out the window now. In a tweet which came as a response to the Washington Post tweeting out the word news, WWE's official account simply tweeted out the word wrestling. Unsurprisingly, this was met with delight from the fans who were against McMahon's Don't Say Wrestling rule, which was reported in August to be over. Several other accounts also had short tweets explaining what they are, with The Hill tweeting politics, CNN tweeting breaking news, and Bloomberg tweeting business. While words like wrestling and hospital were banned for decades in WWE, that is no longer the case, and it's clear that fans are loving this new WWE and their much more relaxed rules. And we're ending today with Raw, as a segment this week between Seth Rollins and Riddle had the whole world talking. After the interview was concluded and the show went to a commercial break, Rollins, realizing that his mic was still on, took a shot at Riddle about his ex-wife and children. Riddle fired back with several F-bombs and stormed off in search of Rollins in what Jimmy Smith called an homage to the world of MMA. On SiriusXM, the Raw commentator explained how what happened was similar to an incident with John Jones and Daniel Cormier, where Jones was caught on a hot mic threatening Cormier. Riddle and Rollins have become one of the most intense feuds this year, and after what happened on Raw, don't expect either man to hold back tomorrow at Clash at the Castle. Well guys, that's our news for today. Please share your comments below. Also hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit the bell icon to receive all notifications. And as always, thanks for watching.